So you bought a truck from the auction. You get the truck home. What do you do first? Let's talk about it. So you got the truck home. In my case, drove it almost 2,000 miles and had no issue except for some little things. So I would inspect it again and make a list of what I need to do to this truck. And the way I inspect trucks is I start usually, this is a military habit, I start from the left front of the vehicle, go all the way around, just the outside, looking on the outside, go all the way around and back out this way. Once I get to this part, I lift the hood and then I go throughout the whole engine compartment, and then I would go throughout checking out my drives just outside now and everything, and just continue listing what needs to be done onto the truck. Anything that is like rubbing, anything that is maybe chafing or maybe corroded or cracking and things like that. I would list all of that. Then I would prioritize based on what needs to be done to the truck, right? After I've done the drives and check it out and all suspension and everything, I would go under the truck and check it out from underneath as well. So now that we checked it out, now let's take a look at this exact same truck on what needs to be done with this truck. For fact, number one, I know that we drove these steer tires over 2,000 miles or almost 2,000 miles, and the wear on them is pretty even all across. There is no bouncing wear, none of that. So actually, probably don't even need to change those shocks. Okay, my mistake. We still do need to change those shocks. It doesn't matter. I got all shocks all the way around anyway. I've already purchased them. Look at the wear on this. Look at the wear on that. Even. We're golden on that. That just that alone, those two tires have saved us, I'd say, over $1,200 already just on those tires. Now this one is a little different. I did not notice this when I first picked it up. The way this is installed. I'm pretty sure this was like that when I left, but I'm just happy there's still oil coming out of there. The reason why I say I'm still happy that why there's oil coming out of there, that tells me those bearings are not burnt inside that thing. See, in trucking, it's always gonna bring you the tires. Tires, tires, tires. Tires is you're gonna be your number one enemy, and also probably gonna be your number one ally. Now, we've rolled these tires for almost 2,000. I sound like a broken record, but I can tell that this was not, or was it this side? Okay, okay, it was this side. This was there before, right? This evidence right here, that tells me that's probably gonna be a combination of. I mean, we're gonna have to change the torque rod shocks and then get it aligned anyway. But this tells me that you have some kind of issue with the suspension, the way those tires are wearing unevenly. These ones are good. This one was there, like I said, it was there when we first picked it up. This type right here, the brake drum was locked up, so I dragged it about 500 foot in their dirt yard over there where I picked this truck up, and it did that damage right there. But from what I can tell, the outer edge does not affect the circumference of it. I mean, it might, but I don't think it. Now, what's new is this particular area right here, this part and that part. Now that's a little new. Like, for some reason, I'm seeing that maybe I don't. I think it's just my mind messing with me. So anyway, this is new. This is new. This type of wear is new. This was not there when I first picked it up. So definitely have some issue with that front drive axle, I should say. So I think, like I said, we have to start from get it aligned or change shocks, change torque rods. We don't need to be doing anything crazy right now. You know, we don't need to be looking into those dog bone or whatever. Change shocks, change the torque rod, and we'll get it aligned. If they cannot get it aligned, then we might have a problem with those or the freaking, you know, the U-bolts, I don't know, some, or maybe axles, hopefully not. But I doubt that we will. It rode fine coming here, so I'm guessing the majority of our problem is gonna be shocks and torque rods. Those fuel tank caps are stinking leaking. When you fill it up like almost to the top, those things are leaking. We have issues, and I read online and I've been looking it up online. Yes, Kenworth does have that problem. That axle right there, that thing is leaking grease. There's actually a seal right there. You see that little rubber thing? But most of the time you probably just don't want to mess with that seal, you know? But it doesn't seem to be a problem. Like, I don't know why it's like that. Maybe somebody had put in the wrong grease on there. I have no idea. Well, we'll take a deeper look in. On to the engine compartment. We have to fix this hose. Something is going on with that hose. That's why, or maybe it's the seal on the power steering pump. It could possibly be it. But first thing is we have to clean that. The belts, both of the belts are making noise on my drive up here. I was not, they didn't need to be replaced. They're just making noise because it's probably all that glazing stuff in there. So they're just getting old, you know? Maybe they replaced that rod before, your steering rod, right? Or drag, no, that's your drag link. Your tie rod, they replaced that tie rod before because there's a plastic on there. You see that, the shipping label on it? So when they did that, they definitely had to do an alignment. That's probably why those things are rolling pretty straight. And they did not do a 3-axle alignment that while they were on it. That's why those tires are wearing a little different. These shocks definitely need to be replaced. As a matter of fact, it's busted right there. Maybe that one is not so bad. I don't know if that one's busted or not, but we're gonna replace both of them. But before we continue, let me segue into that. We got us a little warning. It says you have parked in a private parking area. Clearly, you're on the street. This is not private at all. We got trucks there, okay? Your license number has been noted. No license. And no license. Your license number has been noted and recorded. If this vehicle is parked in this area again, we will have it towed away or booted at your expense. Good morning, y'all. That's a lot to take in. See, it's hard enough to find parking for semi, especially out here in Las Vegas. This city is just the Clark County. This is the Clark County, right? This city has some type of ordinance that says you cannot park within 1,000 feet of a residential area. So we're nowhere near residential. This is all business area, okay? And we are parked legally on the side street. Now, what I find weird about why we got that instead of these other trucks is that how convenient that this truck does not have it. This truck does not have a plate. This truck does not have it as well. This truck do have a plate, and this truck also doesn't have it. Now let's do some problem solving here. I'm pretty sure most of you already follow my thought process here. This is all public property. Even that grass area right there, that is all public property. There's a line where that property owner put the line and put like a little semi berm over, so his line is right there and it's visible. Okay, we have a truck with no tag, and it has a DOT on the side, but I don't think that's the actual DOT. I believe this truck is probably just bought. It's been sitting there for some time. This is my neighborhood. I watch this area quite often. These guys have recently been parking here. That truck and that truck coincidentally have the same name on the side of the door. And for some reason, we have a truck that has a warning, and the rest of these don't have it. Huh. Now you tell me, what do you think is happening here? Okay, let me give you a clue. If this was any valid or legit type of that this area, as they're saying, is private, they would have a date and maybe a phone number to contact why this sticker is on there. I mean, I get it. I get the hustle, right? If you're trying to deter people from parking in this area, and you know you have several trucks or whatever, and then you just want to keep that area, you want to try to do stuff like that. I get it, right? But come on, man, bobtail. There's like you could probably fit two or three more bobtails here. I don't know, man. This is crazy. What do y'all think? Let me know. Just as a maintenance part, I'm gonna be pulling out all the EGR stuff, nothing electrical or anything like that. I'm gonna pull out those pipes. I'm gonna check out those pipes and see what they look like on the inside. We're gonna check out the CIC piping and see what they look like on the inside. On the intake side too, we're gonna do that as well. That air cleaner, definitely gonna be replacing that. August 2022. Hey, at least they dated it. That's nice of them. APU is currently not working, but I'm happy because we have an APU installed on this. Just the installation part on this is a lot of money already. But if we need to replace this engine, we could probably easily do that compared to buying a whole new or putting a whole new APU on there. But I'm glad that it has an APU. So with that being said, inside we just need to deal with the windows, the power windows, and deal with the speakers. That's basically all we got to deal with as far as when it comes for the inside of the truck. But everything else, I'm gonna pop up a price on how much this is gonna cost us, estimate. But most of this work will be done by yours truly. The alignment part is not gonna be done by me because we just don't have the proper equipment for that. Yeah, we can do it the old school way, but that's probably not the right way. We want to make sure we get the right readings, and we want to make sure we correct it the proper way. You're probably thinking, well, there's quite a few things you're missing. Yes, I would agree. Yes, we're gonna be doing a oil change on that. We're gonna be changing all the filters and the fuel and stuff like that. And we're also probably, more than likely, it depends on how busy they are over there. What we're gonna try to get us to squeeze us in a overhead on that engine, just so we have a baseline to start with. And also, we're gonna be checking the diffs and their transmission. We're gonna do the same thing. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. If you wanna know more about what it is it takes to, like, this is the owner operator side where a lot of people don't talk about. We don't just go into the shop. When all you do is rely on the shops, you cannot profit out here. That's why a lot of people are thinking, man, this sucks, man, because it costs you a lot. It's about $170 an hour on average, and how much it costs to be at the shop. So it's just, that's not the way to go, in my opinion. That's why, if you want to be an owner operator, you have to be able to turn wrenches. So if you want to continue watching the channel, if you have not subscribed already, go ahead and do so. Go ahead and comment down below and let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if you think I'm an idiot. We will see y'all in the next video.